Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. Just been handling family stuff and taking care of business, trying to find a job. Join this program called the Ticket to Work program, and just waiting to get hooked up with a job through the career coach. They assign you a career coach, and just getting family stuff taken care of. My dad's going through health issues, and I'm just trying to iron out family stuff. You know how that goes, right? See, it's probably a bit better. Good right there. Hope y'all having a great day, no matter where you are in the world. Just waiting to see if anybody will join, but I'll just go ahead. It's not like scheduled or anything, and I haven't posted in a while, so. Well, let me see. I was dealing with some issues regarding my dad's health. I had just reunited. With my dad. It was about maybe about 6 or 7 years. I hadn't talked to him. Then reunited in the beginning of 2024, no, 2023, and we ironed out our differences. And we were talking a lot back and forth. Then he got diagnosed with colon cancer in, I think, February or March of last year. So, he was going through chemotherapy, and I think he got like a couple feet of his intestines cut out. So, that was rough to deal with after just reuniting with him and getting close back with him. And then, and now we have some more issues that we're dealing with where I haven't talked to him in a couple months. So, just been going through that and, dealing with that. I'm pretty sure y'all understand. And, besides just trying to find a job and iron out my family problems, just, dealing with life and studying on how to make the channel better. I've been learning how to do make reaction videos, and I'm looking forward to doing that. That would be cool. But yeah, I'm just been trying to get my life together. And sorry for the absence. I think it's been about 3 weeks, but I didn't mean to take that big of an absence. But I haven't talked to my dad, so just wondering about his health and dealing with trying to find a job and life be life, and that's the famous saying now. But yeah, life be life, and so just trying to get my life together and come up with ideas to make the channel better. Channel is like what, 3 months old now, so just trying to make it grow and learn different things. And yeah, but I'm in good spirits, and I'm still fighting the good fight, staying healthy, working out, stretching, still trying to quit smoking. But I watched a video yesterday about multiple sclerosis, someone suffering from multiple sclerosis, and they were in a wheelchair their whole lives, but they switched. No, no, they started taking CBD oil, and they were able to get out their chair and start walking. And there was a video about two doctors talking about how to take CBD oil, which I had before, but I was still smoking. They advise patients that want to use it for full health benefits to not smoking, just use the CBD oil by itself. So that's motivating me even more to quit using green and quit smoking green and change and just use CBD oil, because I definitely am confident that I'll be able to walk without any assistance again. I still use my walker, which this is the laptop is on my walker. If you can see like the handles right here, but I really don't like using my wheelchair that much because I want to keep fighting to walk, no matter if I have to use the assistance of this walker or not. I just don't like being in a wheelchair, and not to sadden anybody that uses one or is dependent on one, but I just have that fight in me that I know I'll be able to walk again. And yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to stopping smoking. Is my hat crooked? Yeah, I'm definitely looking to stop smoking and just use the CBD oil and see how my body reacts to it. And let me see. Yeah, just life be life and going through everyday life like everybody else, and still staying positive. I took a break because I didn't want to come on here with any low vibration or negative energy while I was trying to get my stuff together. But I know a lot of people are connected and want to see you, talk about your life. But I'm still just getting used to this stuff. So for the people that are subscribed, forgive me for my long absence, but I'm still getting used to like talking to the camera and sharing my life experiences. But I'll get better and better as this journey continues. And yep, I'm thinking about definitely want to do reaction videos, and I've been watching people gaming. I've always been a gamer since like kindergarten, so that wouldn't be a problem. But I'm just studying their channels to see how they talk to their audience, the games they play, their editing, and just their professionalism and just the different nuances that they have or different ways that they have. So yeah, I've watched people's channels from a couple followers to all the way to like 15 million followers, just getting ideas. But like I said, I've always been a gamer, so the gaming part won't be a problem at all. And I've liked a lot of different genres and different kind of games, so playing different games, that'd be cool. I mostly play sports and like Call of Duty and um, football, Madden, but I'm open to like anything. I'll play puzzle games. Play. I play FIFA. I've been playing FIFA since 2014. That's like the only game I'm playing now. But like I said, yeah, I've been a gamer my whole life, like since kindergarten when Atari and ColecoVision and what was the other system? I can't remember the other system, but Atari and ColecoVision were out when I started playing the game, so you could see how old I am. And I even won like a tournament when I was in kindergarten or first grade at Chuck E. Cheese for the Pac-Man tournament in my age bracket. I won like a large pizza and a big bag of Chuck E. Cheese tokens, so that was cool. And yeah, just learn different things. And yeah, gaming, adding like a gaming channel or just adding gaming to this channel, that'd be cool. To give me some more versatility instead of the same old same. And yeah, I hope whoever is like watching the what's it called, the replay of this, I hope you're having a blessed day, and hope your head is high, and you're getting through life's problems, and just making it through like we all are. You're having a blessed day. Thank you, Father, for all the blessings that we have. But yeah, thank you for everybody that is still looking forward to the future of the channel. Still subscribe. I know I lost a couple people, but thank you for everybody that's still hanging on and eager to see me grow because I'm gonna learn different things. So the channel will be better. Reaction videos are pretty cool, so I look forward to doing that. And just like my third live, I look forward to more live streams. So, I like talking to people live. And once the channel starts growing, I look forward to seeing where everybody is from and talking to you live. So, yeah, I am looking forward to it getting warm. Definitely. It's still in the 30s today here in Cleveland. Oh no, well, it's 44 now, but it was hanging around in the 30s for a long time this morning. It's 44 now here. It was even snowing the other day, but that's the Midwest weather, and I'm used to it. And um, definitely looking forward to getting out the house. I haven't been out the house since like October, but I don't let that get me down. It is what it is. I collectively, I probably only been out the house maybe like 5 or 6 times in like the last 6 years. And if you're new to the channel, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2015, thinking like October, but I know for a fact that I had it since I was 14, and it started from a traumatic spinal cord injury when I was playing football. I've covered a lot of this in my previous videos, but if you're new here, that's why I haven't left the house in a long time because I use a walker to walk in the house, and I get around outside the house in a wheelchair. So that's why I really don't get out that much. But yeah, I'm gonna do like more detailed videos about what I go through. My last live I covered a lot about multiple sclerosis and how it developed, and from me playing football. So I covered a lot of details on that, but I'll talk about it more like when after I got diagnosed and how it affected me after I was driving with it and like still taking myself to my appointments. And I didn't cover that yet, so I will cover that. Matter of fact, I'll talk about it now. So after I was diagnosed, I started having to use a walker in January like 2016, and I went through being down and depressed after finding out that I had multiple sclerosis because I was thinking that was just like an old football or basketball injury that I'd be able to recover from easily or maybe have surgery. And after finding out that I had something major and I didn't even know about it, I had to ask the um, the neurologist what it was after they told me after having like my fifth MRI on my body. So yeah, after hearing that and then starting to use a walker, I was still driving though, but I went through some depression finding out that it wasn't just like simple back injury. But I was having problems with my left leg in front of me, so I knew it was something serious. Then after they did an MRI on my left knee, which I just knew was like had like ligament damage or something, because I was just feeling so funny. And when they told me that it was normal for a 38-year-old, I was like, oh no, definitely something wrong with me. And then that was like three MRIs before they told me it looks like you have multiple sclerosis. So um, after they told me, and then started using a walker, I was still driving, going to the appointments. Oh yeah, because they I was going to physical therapy after I found out, and then that was in 2016. I was going to therapy, taking myself there. I was doing pretty good. Going to this center in Cleveland called the Mellon Center that covers like all neurological diseases and helps people out suffering from those. It has like a center with physical therapists and nurses and stuff. So I went there for most of 2016 and a little bit of 2017. And then I switched to being a vegetarian in like July 2016. I was doing good, but I celebrated my birthday in like February of 2017, and I don't know what I was thinking. I drank some liquor, and ate some like fried food that wasn't like in my diet plan, and I was like ate some candy and some some coffee with sugar and a lot of sugar in it, and it really affected my nerves and I couldn't even drive anymore after about 3 or 4 days after I celebrated my 40th birthday in February of 2017. And yeah, I was doing good. And just the want to celebrate my birthday, it knocked me back a whole lot because because of that liquor and that sugar and that food. And that yeah, people out there are surprised, like, dang, just drinking some liquor and like 2 or 3 cups of coffee with a lot of sugar in it and candy because I was a big candy person. What they call it. I had a sweet tooth, but yeah, after my 40th birthday and celebrating it, I lost the ability to drive, and yeah, that really like put me into deep depression. To be honest, because I had a whole lot of driving jobs, so you can imagine like losing. Hey Tracy, how you doing? Hope you having a great day. I had a whole lot of driving jobs, so losing the ability to drive around February 2017, that like really knocked me back. But I had my nephew helping me go to like appointments after that. But I was basically like housebound after celebrating my 40th birthday and setting myself back with the alcohol and the sweets and the coffee. I'm doing pretty good. No complaints. How's the weather up there? You're 3 hours behind. So good afternoon. How's the weather? And don't tell me. I know you're all the way to the west, so you're right over Seattle, west side again. Ontario. Did I get it right? Ontario. And I'm not gonna look. I like to force my brain to like get the answer. Vancouver. It's raining. Typical Vancouver weather, right? Since it's right over Seattle. Ah, I was just, you're not too far off from Vancouver, right? I was a little bit off, right? I always heard about the good bud in British Columbia all the way back in like the 90s. Always raining. It's like England. You have like English weather. At least it's good for the trees and the plants and stuff. Okay, a couple of hours away. That's cool. Only thing about that, do your dogs like playing in the rain and stuff? And do chickens like playing in the rain? I never like seen any chickens like out in rainstorms. Do they go up in their coop? I'm talking live now. If you want to tune in, I'm talking live now. Okay, it's a lot like Russia. Okay, you ever been to Russia? Okay, my German shepherds used to try to bite the raindrops. That's my favorite breed. I was I was I seen a post about how useful chickens are earlier today on Facebook, and it showed how much fertilizer you can get from them, how many insects they prevent from having in your yard. It was about almost 10 different things that chickens do that are like so helpful to your yard. And I didn't know all of that. Okay. Oh, it's a channel where some people moved from Canada to Russia. I like watching channels like that. I've been watching people that have moved from the U.S. to Thailand recently, and seeing how what they say about it. Countryside Acres Homestead. Wow, 12 children. Wow, wow. Is there any places in Russia? Because I haven't really seen a lot besides Moscow that are like city like, or is it all mostly countryside? The only Christian country left. Did you see Putin release all of those pictures and artifacts of like the first Black Russians, I believe, or it was something, and they sure didn't cover that a lot on the mainstream media, but he showed a lot like it was like Black culture, and I think it was intertwined with Russia too, but the media sure didn't cover that a lot. It was only I seen that on like one YouTube channel. Russia is like Canada in the 70s. Would you ever move to Russia? It seems that the United States doesn't want us to leave. They want to keep us oppressed and like wrapped up in their medical system because the food is terrible, and like it's like nothing to do for kids in our cities anymore. It's like they want you to get wrapped up in like negative stuff. Okay, so it's like that there too. I know that I think it's called dictator or whoever leads Canada, or like having them like a mandate for y'all to get that poke, and I'm definitely against that. So I was wondering how that was still working out for y'all, because they're starting to try to put it in our food now, like the lettuce and other like two or three other things. But yeah, I'm not with it. Okay, they don't have a toxic society. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some more digging on Russia. It's funny because whoever the United States. Okay, that's good. It's not funny, but it's interesting. Whoever our country paints as like a villain or evil, we later come to find out that they're like good people, like Gaddafi. Yeah, I try to stay away from them as much as I can, and I fast a lot. So yeah, they're everywhere here. But yeah, I was saying, the United States painted Gaddafi when I was in grade school as like a villain, but all he was doing was switching the money from the African country that he was leading to gold currency, and that was going to bankrupt the United States because we don't have any gold. And yeah, I still remember in grade school them painting him as like a what they call it. I don't want to say the T word, but you know what I'm saying. You know the T word that they paint people to be. I think that's like a word that YouTube doesn't want you to use. So yeah, they tried to make him like he was a T, but he was just gonna really make his country currency be backed by gold, and the United States was going, it was gonna break our dollar. So they went over there and they unalived him. So yeah, no pokes for me either. And isn't that crazy? I feel great. Aren't we supposed to be dead? It's not funny, but all the people that were in support of it around me and even told me to get it, like some of them, like my dad included, like, and I'm not a health professional, but I'm pretty sure it came from this. But he just was diagnosed with colon cancer March or February of last year. And like he's very pro, you know what I mean? And he got all of those extra, you know what I mean? And yeah, he is married to a lifelong nurse, but they're retired now. So, you know, he's leaning towards the medical side. I tried to get him uh, natural health advice, but you know how that goes when you know you're married to someone that is giving you a medical push. So all I can do is really pray for him. But yeah, I don't believe in that stuff at all. And I recently found out about soursop like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and that's why they don't have that on the shelf readily available for you because one of the health benefits of soursop, the fruit and the leaves, is that it cures the big C. I travel all across Canada in all the truckers, convoy, and never got sick. And it was very cold in Ottawa. That was another thing they tricked us into believing in that like you get sick from being out in the cold. Nah, that's how you take care of yourself and making sure you don't like touch stuff that other people that is sick touch. But yeah, they tricked us on a lot of stuff. I watch the Ice Road Trucker sometimes, and um, I forgot the countries that I seen them go through, but there's some. They mostly film in Canada. If you ever watch that show, but I like watching the Ice Road Trucker. Oh yeah, even throughout the whole, you know what, I hugged people, I shook their hand because I wasn't fooled. I started doing research about it like immediately to so I wouldn't get fooled. And I was following a lot of people who got their channels and pages like canceled for telling the truth. So all those people who I seen channels and pages getting taken down, I was following their advice because I knew that it was I ain't gonna even say the word, but y'all know what I'm saying. I knew that it wasn't what they were telling us. So yeah, yep. I just kept drinking my elderberry tea. Yep, they sure did because all the flu numbers went down to like almost zero. Like, what kind of sense does that make? And then there was health professionals making videos including doctors and nurses and researchers saying, I'll never take it. I'll never give it to my kids. And you shouldn't take it. And that's all I had to hear. And then when I would go back to share it off of different platforms, guess what? It would be gone, erased out of my phone. So I knew that was further encouragement for me to like not listen to the mainstream and just keep taking the elderberry tea, which I had been drinking already. I was drinking that every day. Then I added sour sop leaves. I would grind that up and put it in tea bags. But I learned that the tea bags are like made out of plastic basically. So I just started putting it in my infuser in the top of my tea canister. And what else? Uh, just I was juicing every day too as well, like ginger, celery, cucumber, grape tomatoes, carrots, beets, and I was drinking a smoothie. And I still do that. I don't juice as often, but I always make a smoothie and I put sea moss, all the berries. Um, don't mix bananas. I heard and read that, but if you mix bananas with berries, it cancels out the like health properties. I don't know how true that is, but I'm just passing along what I heard. But yeah, including the smoothies and the tea and juicing, like I really wasn't worried about what was going on. And I was hugging people and I never wore a mask in my life. I don't think I've ever put a mask on. I never wore a mask through that whole, you know what I mean? And I never was worried about it. And I had regular visitors. I'm not the most popular person, but it would be maybe a person or two that would come every other day. And I definitely would shake their hand if they weren't scared of the, you know what I mean. And I learned that other people's germs strengthens your immune system when you're around them. So yeah, we've been lied to. Definitely, like it says in the Bible that the herbs and uh, I'm not sure. I don't want to misquote, but you know what I mean. The herbs and stuff that are here, that's our medicine. So we don't have to worry about that stuff. But they try to scare you and use scare tactics into getting you to do things. But yeah, I'm okay. I took that. I was just watching these doctors on YouTube this morning, and he was talking about the flu, the V, and how what country? I can't remember the country, but the flu V numbers were like in the negative for helping people. Like that's how bad it was. And I'm never taking that again. I took it back in 2016 because I was a little nervous after I got diagnosed because multiple sclerosis, they say attacks your immune system. So I said, oh, why not? I should get the flu shot, but nah, never again for me. After I learned that it's like mercury and like aluminum in it, like really, why would that be in it? But we know why. Yeah, it's basically like, in my opinion, it's like we're guinea pigs. This is all my opinion. It's like we're guinea pigs. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I feel God intended us to do, and that's not rely on the M industry or healthcare. Um, I always say this: if doctors and nurses encouraged you to eat well and exercise, they probably wouldn't have a job anymore. And a lot of people don't think about that. And a lot of people just stare at me like I'm speaking Chinese when I say that. But I know people who aren't brainwashed, they can like really feel me. And yeah, like, have you ever went to a doctor's appointment and they were like, you know what? You get some fresh air and sunlight and you eat healthy and come back here in like 2 weeks and tell me how you feel. Nope, they get out that pad and immediately start writing out something for you to take. Yep, I recently did that last year. I hadn't put my feet like in grass in like probably over 10 years. Yeah, no money in healing. You know that's right. The money is in the treatment to keep you. There's a Pfizer. It was a Pfizer ad on Instagram this morning that I reposted, and it said, I think Pfizer's been in business for 50 years and they haven't cured one disease. I let that sink in for you. And you know how big Pfizer is. Yeah. At this point, with all the information out there, it's like a no brainer that what they're trying to do. But if you just follow mainstream like news and media, you just float along through life, this stuff will pass right under your nose. But when you get that awakening, and it's all through the strength of the Father for me, because I wasn't like this before. I was lost. I call it lost in the sauce. I'm a funny person, like, so I like to say like little funny stuff, little dad corny stuff. But yeah, I believe people that are lost in the sauce when they still use fluoride and they still watch their local news and think that whatever they're telling them is like so important. I want everybody to think about this, whoever's watching this. Why do you need to put a three-piece suit on or like a cocktail dress or like a dress where you going to a dinner to tell us that JJ got shot on 30th Street? Like, does that make sense? They're dressed to like the nines and the tens, telling us about the weather, uh, the stocks. What else do they talk about? The festival that's going on locally. Like, it's crazy. But if you don't really think about it like deeply, it'll pass right by you. And you'll just wake up and continue to think that this is what you're supposed to watch. When it's really like the world news and getting on like YouTube and finding people that are telling you the truth. But if you tell the average person that, they'll look at you like this. And they call that the fluoride stare because they believe anything that they're told. But like, thank you so much, Father. I broke those chains in 2017. I can't tell y'all how grateful I am for discovering that fluoride like dumbs you down. It even lowers your IQ and it allows you to be easily led. Because after I stopped using it, like my thinking power just shot through the roof, and I was so disappointed in myself. But I was like, well, I didn't know. And they used to give it to us in grade school. Like on Friday mornings, they would have us swish it around in our mouth for like 60 seconds. I still remember that. And I would wonder, like, oh, well, it's going to do good for my teeth. But nope, it was brainwashing us and allowing us to be easily led. And Rockefeller created our educational system. And he has a famous quote saying that I want to create workers, not thinkers. And I guess that was a tool that he used because on Friday mornings at my grade school, they would have us take a cup of fluoride and rinse and swish it around in our mouth, and they would count for like 60 seconds. And I always wonder, like, is this really helping us? But you're taught that fluoride helps, your teeth, the strength of your teeth. And I seen a study that people's teeth in America are no healthier than other countries that don't put fluoride in their drinking water. So, let that sink in and just do your research on how harmful fluoride is. Just take everything I say as entertainment because I don't want this to be taken down. This is just for entertainment, and this is just my opinion. Yep, it's all about money. Yep, it calcifies the pineal gland, and when you stop using it and you take things like turmeric and I forgot the other things, it will like decalcify it and like just take it from me, a person that used fluoride their whole life. My thinking process went through the roof, and I was always a relatively smart person. And I'm not trying to brag, but I didn't get a C in school until like the seventh grade. So that'll give you an example of my intelligence level. And I prided myself on getting like the merit and honor roll when I was a kid. I was a nerd. I'm not afraid to admit it. I like being smart, but think how much smarter I would have been if I wasn't taking fluoride as a kid. And I could have went into investments and all that other stuff instead of picking up a basketball, which I did, and a football, which caused me to be in the condition I am. But I'm not like ungrateful for what happened to my life because look, I'm still living and I've been through a lot of stuff. Wait till I tell you what happened to why I lost these teeth. I keep saying that, but and trying to intrigue people, but I'm gonna tell y'all pretty soon. But I'm still here, and yeah, like my life has changed so much for the better, especially my thinking process. I haven't used fluoride since 2017, and I just use baking soda and I put it in the cap of my drinking water cap, and then put a little water in there and get it to a toothpaste consistency, and I use it for toothpaste. I've been doing that for the last 8 years since I found out that fluoride dumbs you down. Yep. And if you didn't know, your pineal gland is like right here, and it's the size of a grain of rice, and it controls the REM stage of your sleep, which is the rapid eye movement stage. That's like after you fell asleep or fallen asleep. I forgot what's the proper. But after like 4 hours, you enter a stage where you start dreaming, and it's called the rapid. Your eyes like rapidly move, but you don't know it because you're asleep. And the pineal gland controls that, and it controls like your thinking. Like after I decalcified mine, like I said, my thinking like was a million times better, and I felt like, man, I could have been a CEO of a company. I felt cheated out of like my life and as far as my thinking power. Oh, I'm glad to be here. I took 3 weeks off, but I just had to get my mind right. Coconut oil, it can reverse cavities. Isn't there something called like the pool or something? Coconut pool. If you know what I'm talking about, I think it's called like the coconut pool, and it's different. Um, Different things you can mix in the baking soda to make it taste better too. Like I think lemon. I've been learning so much stuff, like it's coming out my ears. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, definitely would never use toothpaste that got fluoride in it ever again if I could help it. Sure, even if I was like stranded somewhere, I would just do like Bear Grylls and try to and just use the leaves or something. If you ever watched Bear Grylls, you know what I'm talking about. He's like a dude that shows you how to. He's like a British military, ex-military dude that shows you how. There it is, oil pulling. Bear Grylls shows you how to live out in the wild. He had a very popular show. It was real cool, but he was like an ex-British military dude. But it got corny after he created a show where he invited the celebrities along. I was like, nah, I'd rather see like showing us how to survive by ourselves. But yeah, I took a break because my dad, me and my dad, we had took a long time without um, being around each other like 2016 to 2023. Then reunited, and then he got sick, and we had some family issues where I haven't talked to him in like 2 months, so it sucks. Even grounding, they can't measure how fast our body's going to the state of healing. I saw a man that taped some wire to the middle of his bed and put grounding tape to secure it and then grounded it outside his window. And he said he got the best sleep that he ever had in his life. And I think he was 50. So, yeah, they definitely don't tell us about grounding our bodies. And even like they would make fun of hippies and call them tree huggers. But I recently, like last year, read about, I think, the ions that you get from hugging a tree. And they said if you even hug your pet after it being outside, it gathers so many ions. If you hug your pet, it can actually like help heal your body. And that was cool to learn. So yeah, they don't tell us about a lot of stuff. You can get a grounding pad. I seen that about 2 months ago about a grounding pad. I want to get that. That that probably would help me out a lot, especially dealing with the neurological stuff. I seen damn what oil that was. I think frankincense oil. They said if you rub that on like your feet or anything that has neuropathy, that will help. And that's what I'm experiencing neuropathy in my left foot mostly. But I'm gonna get some frankincense oil and see how that helps me. There's so many different oils and herbs like they're not going to tell us about because they would rather create a pill for you to take that will do the same thing. I even read like I think 5 years ago it was a couple that created, they were about to create a healthy alternative to a pill, and um, either the FDA or something that controls that. They waited till this couple spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, built a factory, conveyor thing, and all of that. And as soon as they were about to open, they shut it down because it was about to compete with like a pharmaceutical pill that did the same thing, but they were gonna like make it naturally. That's messed up. But they purposely do that because I read that some of the FDA employees are paid by pharmaceutical companies. Like, what kind of sense does that make? That makes no sense at all. That's what they call muddying the water or blurring the line. Stinging. I heard the stinging nettle is also good. Okay, I'm gonna get some of that too. Isn't that a plant? I think I seen somebody collecting that on like a nature walk. Our father knew what he was doing. He put everything down here that we needed. And I recently found out that we've been tricked into thinking that H2O is what we should be drinking when it's H3O, which is like water from watermelon and cucumbers and stuff like that. We should be getting our water naturally. And they call H2O dead water in like the people that are hip and health enthusiasts. They call the water that they sell us in the store dead water. What I usually do, I get spring water and I pour lime juice into it, and I drink about a cup of that in the morning. And they say you drink some warm lime water as soon as you get up, it will help your digestive system digest everything that you ate the night before. And they say you try to do that before 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I drink tea as well as I always got this next to me. Like I always have to put it back in the freezer because I like it with like pieces of ice in it. It's getting warm now, but it's still cold. But I love making smoothies, and I usually put berries, sea moss. almond butter, spring water is the water I use, coconut water, coconut milk sometimes. Oh, and I just recently learned if you put a fourth of a lemon peel, it'll add a whole bunch of zest to it. I had never did that before, but I love it. And oh, cranberries. I put frozen cranberries in there, and chia seeds. Let your chia seeds sit for a while. I recently learned this that chia seeds you can just use a teaspoon and it will um, multiply itself by like 100 times. And chia seeds will help you get full because it expands in your stomach. And like, it's so many health benefits to chia seeds. I can't even name them because it's like over 10 or 15. But if you go look up the health benefits and what it does for your body, you'll be shocked at what these little seeds do for you. And I put hemp seeds in there. Hemp seeds has like more protein than a large steak does per serving. So does pumpkin seeds. I put that in there, and that kills parasites in your stomach. And what else? I put cantaloupe in there, mangoes sometimes. It all depends on what I want to add, but I always add like all the berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries because they're so good for you. How easy it is to tap a tree, birch and maple trees. Oh yeah, you know they don't, and they probably steer the traffic away from like channels that's trying to show that stuff naturally. You know how that goes. I used to love seeing the maple, the syrup spill out of trees when I was young. I know you can get water out of them. I should have been paying more attention to the Bear Grylls shows, but he probably covered that. I did used to see him get water out of the ground, and he said never get water out of like water that's still, because it would be parasites and like stuff that'll make you sick in there. He said waterfalls were good, I think, to drink out of. Water that comes out the ground. The leaves from strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, and blackberries are medicinal. I was watching a video this morning about how easy it is to grow blueberries, but they said it won't yield for like 2 years. So try to grow multiple ones. Uh, Bud just became legal here recently, and I got a tent, so but I haven't used it. But I would rather use it to grow like fruit and other stuff. I mean, you know what I got it for, but I did a run with some just regular stuff, with regular seeds that my cousin probably had from Jimi Hendrix days that he saved up. He had like 2,000 of them. But I was just doing test runs with them just to get my feet wet. But I like the what's it called? Um, is it botany? I like watching people different grows and botanists. I think that's what it's called. I like because you have some people that go all the way and do 50 different things, but their buzz will come out like the same as the person who did like five things. So it's interesting to see the nuances and the different things people like to do in their growing practices. But sometimes the less will come out exactly like how the big growers like that got 100 plants in a field are as easy to grow, come back every year. As soon as I start walking again, I'm gonna have a big farm. There's this guy I follow. His name is Jabez Invest on YouTube, and he has the best energy ever. And he lives in Florida, and he's always planting stuff. I can't wait till like I do share videos and react videos so I can share people that I'm interested in. You know, I'm just now learning all this stuff. It's like all new to me. Like I just got a laptop. I'm not embarrassed to admit it, like a month ago, and this is my first computer, laptop or PC. Now, I would use people's computers, but this is my first one. But yeah, I'm just now getting my feet wet on a lot of this stuff. So doing reaction videos and sharing people that I like. But I can share by saying his name is Jabez Invest, Jabeez. I think it's underscore invest, and he has dreads, and he's in the grocery store all the time, and he'll show you products and the ingredients that's not good for you. And he shows a picture of you. He was like 350 pounds, and now his face is probably as slim as mine now. Thank you for stopping by. I'm doing great. How are you? I appreciate you stopping by on your break. But yeah, if you're interested, his name is Jabez Invest, and he's always talking about healthy stuff. Always like in his backyard or the grocery store, sharing different facts about healthy stuff, or like showing you what he just planted in his yard. It's real cool. So if you like that type of stuff, go visit his channel. I've been following him for about 3 or 4 months. But yeah, I just came on here to let y'all know I'm doing okay and just bouncing back from regular life stuff. But I look forward to all the new things, creating new videos. Brandon of Palm Beach. How's the Palm Beach weather? I've been to South Beach and other parts of Miami when I was 3, but I went to South Beach when I was an adult in 2004. Definitely got to create more content. I don't think it was about being lazy. I just didn't want to get on here with bad energy with dealing with just everyday life stuff. But I see other people on their channels and they'll get people in their comments saying, nah, we want to see that stuff. So I'll get on here no matter what. Because like once I start, it kind of all melts away, all the bad energy and stuff. It's like when I used to play basketball. Like once they threw the ball up, I didn't care about nothing else but trying to score and do a good job. And all our life's problems would go away for like whatever, how long the game was back in those high school days. I think 32 minutes yeah, a whole game was 32 minutes. So the whole 32 minutes, I wasn't thinking about life's problems. And that's kind of how it is here. I even do like the news countdown when I'm about to start a video. Not the live though, but when I'm gonna make a video, I go 3, 2, 1. And sometimes I'll just bust out laughing. And I'm gonna save some of those what they call them bloopers because it's funny and it'll take me like 3 or 4 times to start. And I'll be like, all right, Chris, be serious. 3, 2, 1. And then I go. So yeah, this is cool getting on here. And like I said before, like this isn't even me. So being getting comfortable with talking about my life and being on video, it's a cool experience and I'm getting used to it. But y'all help a lot. I have positive people. I haven't had like one negative comment, and I've been on here for about 3 months. And you know how the internet is, a lot of trolls, but I got thick skin. That's the last thing I'm worried about. But I was just, saying how my experience is. Everybody's been cool. But yeah, just dealing with family stuff. It's rainy there, and definitely if you're going to Miami, yeah, definitely hasn't. Well, I had fun as a kid, but I don't remember half of that stuff. But the pictures, it looked like I was having a ball. I had on like water wings. I was in the ocean. I was up like towards the front of the tour bus where the driver was, and they said I was like keeping everybody entertained. But I was like 2 or 3, so I don't remember none of that stuff. And another cool thing from that trip, I met my mom met a lady there, and they became best friends, and I became best friends with her son, and we were best friends from 3 to sophomore year in high school. But after I made the sophomore basketball team and he didn't, somehow we parted ways. But you know how that goes. Yeah, I don't really worry about the trolls too much. I laugh it off because I've always been like a tough person, and I've always been able to like crack jokes with people. And you know you got to have thick skin to get into like a roast session with a lot of people, especially in high school or like on the bus. So if you go through that, that's like training grounds for dealing with people in here. Plus, I mean, you could block them anyway, and then just shuts them up unless they want to create a troll profile, which is stupid. Yeah, so I've been studying on making reaction videos. I've been studying people's gaming channels from a couple people to millions of followers because I've always been a gamer since I've been in kindergarten. I was playing like Pac Man and Centipede and Asteroids. If you y'all can see how old I am, I started off playing Pac Man, Asteroids, Centipede, Dig Dug, stuff like that. Construction work, respect out there in the sun. I always wanted to do construction stuff. I'm a painter myself, so it's like an aspect of construction, but painters we got it a little bit easier than y'all. Y'all doing all the hammering, all the heavy putting the walls up and all that stuff. Respect to you. Yeah, I was a painter before I couldn't paint anymore, and I loved it. Most people don't like it, but man, you give me a J and I put Pandora on and I could paint for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and people would be like, "Man, do you want to take a break?" And I'd be like, "Nope." I won a Pac-Man contest for my age bracket when I was in kindergarten at Chuck E. Cheese, and they gave me a bag of tokens and a large pizza. I'll never forget that because I thought I didn't even do that good. You know how you could like underestimate yourself, but yeah, I did pretty good. Pole position. Oh, I used to love pole position. Now when I go back and look at it, I'm like, wow, how did I ever like that? But the graphics and stuff for your age, you're not spoiled because you don't know what's coming. But if you go back and look at it now compared to the racing games, it's like, whoa. Yeah, respect to the roofers too. I don't know how they do it. That's smart. Being a chef is way better. I remember designing your own tracks. That was cool. It was hard to steer, like, but I used to still play it though. Even at the arcade, I would waste a lot of quarters. I think I spent the most quarters on playing Double Dragon though. That was probably my most favorite game, like in the arcade, coming up as a kid. Probably that, and then Mortal Kombat. The first one was a close second, but I don't think anything could touch Double Dragon. But all you had to do was just turn and keep elbowing the enemies. That was the key. Nice meeting you too. Have a great rest of the day. I probably won't keep it too much longer. Boom, ba-dum, boom. I love talking to y'all. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, especially after me taking such a long break. How's the audio? Because before I wasn't using the headphones, but now I have it plugged into the laptop. If you've watched the other live, how do you think the audio is better if I use the headphones? Ooh, excuse me. What's on the menu for today? Hmm. I don't know. I might fast for today, or hmm, to be honest, I've fallen in love with eating uh, frozen blueberries because I learned that they unlock even more health properties for you. But they taste like ice cream, so I probably eat some of those. Um, yeah, I might fast today. I was looking forward to a nice meal tomorrow, so I might fast. What about you, Mrs. Benz? Why do not post your live streams? Oh, they're posted. If you're saying why don't I post my live streams, they're still up there unless something happened where you can't access to them. I don't mind making them if you ask them that. I feel comfortable like talking to the camera now. Let me see what else. I don't really have a taste for anything. Maybe a tuna fish sandwich. I really like that a lot. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. What about y'all? What y'all having for lunch, brunch, dinner? I've and I don't think you'll be surprised because I've told you this a lot. I've never had a tuna melt. I've had probably 1,000 tuna on toasted bread, but oh yeah, I look forward to making way more lives. I was just getting my feet wet, and then the gap in between the last one, I was just dealing with life and. But yeah, I'm comfortable now. What exactly is a tuna melt? What makes it a tuna melt? Because I've never ordered one, but it looked good though. And I'm a fan of albacore tuna fish. I always toast my bread. Sometimes I'll eat it with crackers. I've discovered that the almond flour crackers is probably my favorite healthy cracker. You still haven't done a live stream? Nah, that's a big surprise. Is it because of how comfortable you feel, or you just haven't got around to it? Because you seem comfortable in your videos talking. What do you put on your tuna melts, Mrs. Benz? Mm. Anybody else have this problem as soon as you put on a brand new white t-shirt, like, and you try your best for something not to get on it, like a speck or something drops on it, then it's ruined, and then you got to use it for painting after that. When you buy one, it has. Is that the only difference that my sandwich and a tuna melt is just got cheese on it? I be trying my best. Like I even got look this shirt on top of this, but it's almost guaranteed that a speck of this is gonna get on this shirt, and then it's ruined because you know you can't get fruit stains out of there hardly. If you have a secret, let me know. but then it turns into a painting shirt. Yeah, it's so hard to keep anything white. Tennis shoes. I used to have some white Air Force Ones. Trying to keep them. That was a wrap. One day, it always seemed when you try. Yep, ash fall on it, ruin, burn a hole in it, ruin, and then it really, if you burn a hole like right here, you really be looking like a poo butt, ruin, paint T-shirt, or use it to like clean the house with it. No. Oh, I found out a secret about cleaning your flat screen TVs. It's not a secret because it's probably well known now, but you take an old T-shirt and you just put a little bit of dish soap in a bowl. Don't get it real sudsy. Then you take the old T-shirt, you clean your flat screen. Then you take a what's those things called? You know that material that they have where you put your hand in there and you clean your car with. I forgot what that's made out of, but that's super soft material. That's what you dry your flat screen TV with. Trust me, I've done it and it comes out like the best I've ever like tried to clean my TV. I seen it on the internet like 5 years ago. But yeah, old T-shirts are good for cleaning your flat screen TV. Oh yeah, ass. Never. You ain't never had to burn holes. I be trying. Sometimes I have a hole. Like, man, how did that even get there? But I've been a puffer since I was 19, so I got a lot of stories about T-shirts and jogging pants, all kind of stuff getting all messed up. But I'm trying. That I seen a video about CBD oil helping out a MS patient, and he getting up and walking, but they said you can't smoke it. So I'm gonna try to my hardest to like give it up and use CBD oil because I know I'm gonna walk again. Like there's no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna get up and be able to walk without having to put my hands on something. So I'll be cool. Let me see what's the worst thing. I think I had like a pullover, Jordan pullover. It was like $100, and that burnt a hole right in the middle. It was ruined. How they feel about the Chinese New Year? Oh, I believe that the New Year starts when spring starts. So seem like they're right in tune with what I believe. They said once the trees and stuff start sprouting again, and grass is green and sprouting, that's the real New Year. So I believe the same thing they believe in. Yeah, we've been tricked. And I also learned, and this is just for entertainment purpose only, and this is my opinion. I learned that Jesus' birthday is on April Fool's Day, and they intentionally made it April Fool's Day because they knew they had fooled us. And it makes a lot of sense. But this is my opinion once again. I can't wait to do the share video so I can share like what I watch on YouTube because I come across so many cool videos. I bought all my clothes in secondhand stores, trying not to only wear natural fabrics. Yep, because all that polyester and all that stuff. I seen a video where they take old garbage bottles and make all of our clothes out of it. It was disgusting. And then we sweat. Mrs. Benz told me about this, and I felt it when I played basketball. But when you sweat, all of that stuff gets into your skin even more, and it's even more toxic. And I felt it. I felt it as a teenager, especially the darker colors, because I heard the darker color material is even worse for your body. And I used to like to wear black socks when I played basketball, even though I even heard back then, like I think I read it in a magazine or something, that darker color material could get into your skin even worse. I've heard about linen, and I read an article about how the hospitals took linen out of the hospital because it helped you to recover from what you were going through even faster. And you know they don't want you to do that. They want to make more money off of you. So, and that's why it seems like linen is so expensive because they know that it helps you. It's high vibrational material. Yep. You know what's sad is that it ain't even a surprise to us that what you just said goes on. That's even sadder that we know and ain't nobody doing nothing about it because it's all tied in with other industries and the higher up elite people. They don't care really about the 99%. And if you don't know, you know the 1% is richer than the 99% of the rest of us out here. I wish I had all like linen sheets and clothes. I would wear all of that stuff. But it's so hard to find. I even asked for all cotton T-shirts for Christmas. Well, I don't celebrate it, but they asked me what did I want in replace of like gifts, and I said, well, just give me some cotton T-shirts. Yeah, that everybody probably has thrown away their stuff and gave it to secondhand store. So that is smart. I wish I knew how to sew and yarn, but that's not hard to learn. I bet that material is probably so expensive though. Like if you want to make your own clothes, they probably didn't jack that stuff up. Linen and other high vibrational. I wonder if it's like other high vibrational, what you call it, material that's like on the same wavelength as linen that we haven't heard about. Probably, but yeah, I love getting on here and learning stuff. Rest in peace, Ruthie. I could sit and watch that for hours. Like, it's certain things I could just sit and watch people do. Like people, you ever see people making those videos of food preparation where they take it's like a cold thing and they pour stuff on it and be chopping it around, making ice cream treats. I forgot what it's called, but those are some of the coolest like food prep videos that I've seen. And they make like ice cream treats, and he'll have like two look like ice paint scrapers, and he'll pour like some pop on there, and it's the circle is like ice cold, so he's making ice cream treats. Organic cotton, 1500. You ever watch the sewing videos of the old things where it looked like a piano and then come down? I seen it in like old movies. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like an old sewing machine. Those are cool. I seen it in like an old movie one time, and it looked like the inner workings of a piano. I don't know what it's called, but it just looked like a real old sewing machine, but it had strings all along this big piece of wood, and it was dropping down. Yeah, we sure do have everything we need here. They just lied to us, and they want us to go to their retail stores so we can fund their families' dynasty for the next centuries, like Walmart and stuff. Have y'all ever seen the Walmart movie? It's a documentary called the high the high price the high cost of low price of Walmart, and it's like a documentary on how Walmart came into cities and communities and just destroyed it by taking over and taking destroying mom and pop stores because they buy so much stuff in bulk that your local stores could never compete with their prices, and that's why like all your local stores just went away after Walmart moved into it because there was no way they could compete with all the prices because they buy so much stuff in bulk they could offer it to you, for like $1 or more or less. And people struggling out here, where they're gonna go if you can get it from like, more than $1 or less than the competition. But if you're ever interested, it's probably like 20 years old now. It's called, I think, The High Cost of the Low Price of Walmart. I never liked it either. And then finding out people be getting napped in the parking lot, I really didn't like that. I seen videos of people saying don't park next to white vans in Walmart because that's a popular, I want to say the word, but traffic, and I'll just say traffic place where they do and try to pick up people. So yeah, it's all bad. And then I seen that one guy like 10 years ago. He was just looking at like a air rifle or something, and the police came in there and unalived them. So that was tied into Walmart too. Yeah, I think it's like a boycott from the 9th to the 14th here, where you, to not order online or go to like big box stores. I think it's still active into the 14th here in the States. Yeah, all those big corporations are like owned by like the same families once you go up the ladder, and they're all just getting rich. And they'll have several different products, and you'll think, oh, well, that's a different uh, somebody that owns it, but no, it's all tied to the same elite people that own everything. Yeah, it's crazy when you see that graph about who really controls the world, and it leads to like I think 13 families or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. But they didn't think we were going to use the internet to educate ourselves and find out the truth. They thought we were just going to use it to watch stupid videos. I've heard that too. I've heard that a lot of the hotels and amusement parks and all kind of stuff has those underneath it. There's videos of people staying at like motels and in their closet, they lifted up a piece of wood at the bottom and it was a ladder leading down to a tunnel. So yeah, please be careful when you stay in any type of resorts or hotels, motels. Where else did I see them at? I would be careful anywhere in public now where you around a place where you could easily be led off somewhere. Yeah, they definitely try to paint people that are telling the truth as like a little off or like we didn't like you said. Well, I mean, if you do your research though, you'll see that the CIA made the term conspiracy theory popular during the JFK era because of all the naysayers about what happened to him. I asked ChatGPT the other day about that, and it said that they didn't create the term, which I heard that they did, but they said they just made it popular during the JFK um, unaliving because of so many people wondering what was the truth because he was really trying to help people and you know what happens to you when you really try to help people out, like Bob Marley, uh, MLK. Even though there's a lot of stuff in his background that people have talked about, and you have to do your research on that. But it seems like the real super good-hearted people they have to get rid of. Yeah, they just want us to be worker bees, and that's why they. I don't think they. And this is my opinion. I don't think they mind replacing us with AI and robots because they never call off. They don't get sick, and they don't complain. They don't need vacation time. They don't have to have like leave of absence for when you have a kid. And it's all in the movie, so it's not like we don't know what's coming because according to videos online from people who are involved in that stuff, like those secret organizations, they have to like tell you what's coming because they believe that and karma is like their biggest enemy. So that's why they show us what's happening in movies and TV shows because I forgot what it's called. Something programming. It'll come to me. Oh, predictive programming. That's where they have to show you their plans and they lay it out for us in movies and TV shows. I want to go back and watch that again. I only watched it like one time when I was younger. But I would like to go back and watch it again. It was a little creepy though. The voice of that one robot, it was creepy to me. But since I know like what's coming, I want to watch it again. I seen a video like 2 weeks ago of how well the robot moves now, and it was scary. Like it was dancing, like how Brazilian people be dancing, like they break dancing. It was almost doing those kind of moves, and you got to be real limber to do all that. I don't even know what it's called, but you know how when they be twisting and break dancing and stuff, the robot was almost doing those kind of moves, and I was like, uh oh. So yeah, we just gotta. All I do, I trust in the Father. Though. I don't even be worried about this stuff. The stuff that I see on TikTok videos about what people see in the sky and uh, all these ships and stuff in the sky. It don't even bother me now because my faith is so strong. I be laughing at this stuff. And then I be hearing about the Project Blue Beam, how they gonna try to fool us about alien invasions and Jesus coming back. And I just be like, wow, this world crazy. But it say in the Bible that it was gonna be backwards times and just chaos and people in love with their own self. They gave us a warning in the Bible, so I ain't surprised. But a lot of this stuff, it just makes my faith even stronger because the Bible talked about it. So it's like solidifying God's word, especially with the Euphrates River dried up like 2 or 3 years ago. And researchers said they heard like some of the spookiest, most evil noises coming up from the Euphrates River. That's in the Bible. They said they found chariots in I forgot the sea where the Romans were chasing, I think, after Moses split the sea and God let people go through and then he closed the sea and then it washed away the Romans on their chariots. That's in the bottom of the ocean. So all of this stuff, it just strengthens my faith. Cause I was like most people, I had doubts. Cause you hear about Jesus when you're a kid and you're like, yeah, right. Somebody really sent their son to die for our sins. It sounds like a cartoon story, but I'm grateful that with the internet and older people teaching what they've learned, Like it strengthens my faith so much when I learn about all this stuff. Oh, and the pillar of salt when Lot told his wife not to look back, that's still there. And researchers say that that area and that country, I forgot where it's at. They said salt doesn't even like belong there, and there's a pillar there. And they said that Lot's wife turned into salt. And he told her, "Don't look back, or you're going to turn into salt." But she was in love with the world and wanted to look back one more time, and it's still there. So that strengthens my faith. So that's only like what 4 or 5 things that makes me really like believe that our Father sent His Son here, and they tried to hide the truth. Yep, Hallelujah. Yep, covering Proverbs really uh, allows you to see how God valued wisdom. Me and my loved one, we're covering Proverbs now, and I've never read it before. And I was telling her I'm ashamed that I've never even read Proverbs, but I'm letting y'all know I wasn't always like this. My life, I wasn't, I wasn't, I was nice. Well, I ain't gonna say nice because we just recently weren't learned the definition of nice. I was an okay person. I'll just say that, but I'm not like how I am now. And I did things that I'm not proud of. Like I sold DRUGs to people, and like I used to think to myself when I was giving it to them, like, man, what am I doing? I'm ruining these people's life. So y'all can see how far I done came. But what what used to make me feel better is that I used to pray for them, like, man, please help these people turn their life around. And I used to ask for forgiveness for my sins, but I still made that sale. So I wasn't no better than the next person. Cause after I drove away, they still had what I gave them, and I had their money. So yeah, I'm just letting y'all know my life and how far I done came. Wow, in the vending machine. Wow, that's crazy. I heard that it was like an open air DRUG market in Portland where they were just letting anything go on. And yeah, this world, this country is like, well, y'all country too. It's seems like it's just keep going backwards and backwards. I heard they were even just like handing out like new needles to people in different cities instead of like offering treatment. That's like helping people do it. But they were saying that it's helping because it's creating a safe environment because it's not used needles all over the place. That sounds ridiculous. So like America and these other countries, they know what they're doing. They know that they could really help people. When you got billions of dollars going to defense and like planes and all that to protect or like destroy people, a fraction of that could go to like helping people, but they know it. And you know, but like in the Bible says, like it says like a rich person, they got the same chances as like a camel going through a needle. Like you know how um hard that is. And they said that the meek shall inherit. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. I've never been infatuated with money. When I was doing that illegal stuff, I wasn't caught up in it. I just didn't want to work, and I was hanging with the wrong people. But I never really like fell in love with money. Never looked down on people like, man, look at my car, look at this, I got this. So I'm glad that I didn't like give my whole self to that stuff. I was just making fast money. but I never like worship money. But I put myself, in a way, I was because I was putting myself in so many like predicaments. So I was like, what's the word? Involuntarily, like giving my soul up for money. I'm blessed. I never got locked up for stuff that I dealt with. It was for somebody else's doing when I drove them somewhere. So look at how our Father protected me, because I did that from like 19 to about early 30s. Now, I did have one instance, and that's gonna probably be my most popular video, and I'm gonna tell y'all, what happened to me, and that was connected with what I was doing on the streets. They teach kid in high school, wow, how to safely, wow, that's crazy. Well, the devil runs the world though, so we're not surprised. The fallen angels rule this evil world. God is so forgiving; it's never too late. Yeah, even the thief on the cross next to him, he forgave him right before he died. Yeah, that's crazy that they teaching kids. Not that you can't just click on the internet and find out, but to actually be teaching kids like it's home ec. Wow, it's a sick world. I follow a couple of street preachers that are in Canada, and one of them went into a classroom and stopped the reading of I don't even know if I could say this, a trans person reading to kids. And the next day, Canada created a law saying that you couldn't do that. And his name is Dor Dore. Yeah, Dore. And that happened last year. It was a big thing in the news about him. He came into a classroom and stopped the reading of children's books by, it was a man, dressed as a woman, and I don't, I don't, I don't agree with that. I don't um, hold anything against people that do that, but I don't agree, with the lifestyle, especially going after kids. That's not cool. Because when I was little, like in kindergarten and first grade, I loved story time. Like that was, and then they used to play Fat Albert for us. You see how old I am. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. So I can just imagine like a kid being, um, what they call it. I forgot the word where they go after you early, trying to put stuff in your head. But you know what I mean. Trying to force that stuff on kids. You should be able to make your own decision on what you do with your life and your body, and you shouldn't be influenced. Like this is just my opinion. At such a young age. And then they're trying to put laws in where like kids can decide to have surgery and decide to be the other if they want to be the opposite of what they am. I mean what they are. Like that's crazy. So deep in their sin. You know that old saying that misery loves company. Wow. Down to a 1 year old. And if you can't even decide on what you want for lunch or what toy you want to play with, there's no way you should be making lifelong decisions. And then I've seen studies on a lot of those people who made those decisions, and they find a relationship with our Father and end up wanting to reverse it, but no, you can't. And then you're gonna go through a whole nother like um, series of like depression, because look at how much of an impact that decision is, and if you turn your life around, there's no way you can go back. Yep. I follow a street preacher that was outside of one of the clinics that unalive babies, and you should have heard like what the doctor said to this preacher. It was one of the most evil. I don't even want to repeat it, but you can just imagine the person that was unaliving babies. Like he didn't have a care in the world. He had the most evil like look on his face too. So yeah, the judgment is coming. But yeah, but it said in the Bible during the last days that the world would be backwards. People gonna be in love with themselves. I was just listening to that. Dang, I forgot the other things, but those two right there are huge, and we seeing it. It's a backwards world now. I think about that all the time. Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes when I see how precious children are, especially when they playing and laughing and stuff. I think that's like the most enjoyable sound in the world is when I got my door cracked and I hear kids because it's that it's careless. They having fun, not thinking about what's going on in this evil world that they don't know nothing about. That's like the best sound in the world. But yeah, I don't know how you could do that. Yeah, it's almost like it's a circus. I put hashtag this world is a circus on a lot of stuff now. I put hashtag this world is a circus now on a lot of stuff. But they wanted to make it like this. Like they can't hide it. All the laws they pass and the things they're putting in classrooms, and yeah, you can see that the world is run by evil. The powers that be definitely don't seem like they have a relationship with Jesus Christ or Yahweh or Yahshua, however you address your Lord and Savior. I recently learned that um, Jesus Christ's name was Yeshua, or is it Yahweh? No, I think Yahuwah was what they refer to as the Father, and then Yeshua was Jesus Christ's name. But that's just from my my research, so you don't have to go with what I say. That's just from what I've learned. Yeah, they chip away daily and try to indoctrinate us with being like they call it being thinking forward, but nah, you can't trick the people that know what's really going on. I am. Yep. I recently learned that God said to Moses, "Tell the people that my name is I am." And I was talking to my loved one about this and how we curse ourselves or we curse our father by saying, I am tired, I am sick, I am this and that and the other, putting a negative spin on it. And we actually like cursing our father because that's his name. And that's deep because definitely don't want to be doing that. So I'm gonna just praise I am. I love you, I am. Thank you for the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. Thank you for your grace, I am. Thank you. I I seen that the Ethiopian Bible is like the most accurate, but I think I seen one before that, and it was from like 1765. And it was barely like intact, but Yeah, the Bibles of Nah, there is a whole bunch of books missing, and a lot of words have been changed. Especially, I forgot the one book that described F the Ephraim. I forgot, but it was talking about the large giants that walk, and they were like fallen angels, and Enoch, and they took that out. It's like four books in there. I think they took out, and Enoch was one of them. But don't quote me though. I still have a lot of learning to do. But according to historians, it covered fallen angels that were like huge, tall. Um, I guess you would call them creatures. So yeah, I got a lot of learning to do. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, it's almost like this world kind of helps you to see what you should believe in because they push all this evil stuff. So sometimes I'll be like, thank you. Like, thanks for showing me what I really need to believe in because they're not shy about pushing all that demonic stuff in songs, movies, TV shows, you name it. Secretly in like Disney shows. There's even a movie called Out the Shadows, and if you find it, oh no, I think it's on Tubi now or another platform, but they constantly erase it on YouTube. It's called Out the Shadows, and it was created by a former stuntman that worked in Hollywood, and he cracked his back on a stunt, but he was receiving physical therapy by a woman that had a relationship with our father, and she asked him, "Can I pray over you?" during one of their physical therapy sessions, and he said, "I don't know why, because I don't believe in God." But it got through to him, and he had a awakening, and he created this film showing all the demonic stuff that he learned in Hollywood and going to parties, and he spilled all the beans, and it shows like everything, and it's super interesting. And I see why they keep deleting it because I bet it's a whole bunch of so-called stars or celebrities that do not want you to see this film because they're in it, and it shows them at these like parties with this very popular witch named Marina Abramovich or something like that. And they're at these parties with this evil woman, and it constantly gets deleted off of YouTube because I tell people about it all the time, and when I go to look for it, it's gone like each time. Definitely a firmament. Even on the Simpsons movie at the end, Bart Simpson is driving his motorcycle upside down on it. And I specifically watched it to see all the little small things that the Simpsons put in there. Because if y'all didn't know that the Simpsons was created by a high level Freemason, and they believe in showing you what's going to happen to you. And the Simpsons is full of predictive programming. Like, it's probably the best show to watch if you want to see what the elites are planning for us because they put it in the Simpsons all the time. Like from everything from the stock market crashing to um, sicknesses that's been released into the world to you name it. You watch The Simpsons, and there's a lot of YouTube channels that covers it too. You type in on YouTube Simpson predictions, and there's a whole lot of videos showing what the Simpsons have predicted for a whole bunch of years, especially for this year because there's supposed to be a whole bunch of stuff happening this year. The Earthling movie, I haven't seen that either. Mm. What else is predicts a lot of stuff? Simpsons is definitely probably the best. It was a TV show. What was it called? It was about a dispensary, and they took that show off the air because one episode it spilled the beans on a lot, and they took it off there. It was only one episode. It was starring that lady who was in Misery, and it was about a dispensary. Yep, and I watched the whole first season, but they took it off the air because in one show they said it's way too much. Oh yeah, you know that we never went to the moon. I always say this: if we went to the moon, well, who the hell was filming it once they got there? That dude was first, so it's all bull. You ever think about that? Like they got footage of people landing on the moon. Well, who the hell was the person with the camera? That person was first. So you know it's all bull and created in Hollywood. And like Mrs. Ben said, I've seen footage of people from what they thought. I mean, what they were trying to show us people in space. They were hooked to cables, and it's so easy now for us to see somebody movement that's hooked on the cables because we've seen so many shows of like people with those harnesses on flying over the crowd and concerts and stuff, so you can get an idea of how people body movement is hanging off of a cable. But back in those days, and I think the '60s, you were probably so shocked and amazed that you could go along with it because your brain probably had never you hadn't had to even process that type of thinking yet. Like they they could just tell you anything. Flat Earth Dave on YouTube. Yep, I'm open to like watching anything. I'm not closed minded, and I've seen every interview of pilots that seemed like they were cool, and they asked them, "Have you ever seen any curvature in the Earth?" They all said no, and they didn't seem like they were like full of it or anything. And they answered it like with ease and comfortability, and it wasn't like in a pressure situation. It was like somebody just asking them, "Hey, have you ever seen any curvature in the Earth?" And every single pilot that answered that question said no. I've seen videos breaking down how you can tell that there is no curve in the earth just by looking at the horizon and how straight it is. Like, you ever see the sunset on a lake or the horizon? It's a straight line. There's no curve. But I don't need any convincing anymore. When I first heard it, I was like other people thinking, "Oh, these people are um, need a tinfoil hat," and that's how the world wants us to look at people that are open thinkers, like they're a little nuts or whatever. Because it seems like the open thinkers and people who seem like they're nuts are the real smart ones. But I've always been thirsty for knowledge. I love learning stuff, so can't fool me. I'll listen to conversation from anybody from a wino on the street to a astrophysicist. I believe that's how you say it. So I'm open to learning from anybody because I don't care who you are. You can learn something from anybody. Just because they down and out, that don't mean that they don't have knowledge to like share with you. I've seen some of the most informative videos from somebody stopping a so-called bum on the streets and hearing what they had to say, and just asking them, "Hey, man, what got you down where you had to live on the streets?" And they opened up to them, and they had some of the most amazing like life stories to tell, but you would never guess it because society says that they're like a bum, but no, that's not the case. Some people just are down and out in certain parts of their life. Yeah, I definitely question everything, and I definitely want to travel outside of this country. I love watching videos of other cultures and how they live outside this country. It's like we're forced into American culture. They don't really want you to be free and have free thinking. That's why they took all the what do you call it, vocational stuff out of the high schools in America, like learning how to fix cars and things like that. There's hardly any more high schools that has a vocational program. You probably have to pay to go to like a private school to learn that stuff now, even if they even teach it anymore. Because I went to a private school and I believe they pulled that out of the high school. Don't quote me though, but yeah, they just want you to be like a carbon copy. Just go to work, um, go to McDonald's, come home, watch football, talk about LeBron James, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. That's all they want you to do. It's sad. So much more to life. And I used to be like that, just watching sports all the time, um, fast food, work, repeat cycle, never thinking about like open minded stuff. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? But it's totally changed now. And thank you, Father, for blessing me with an open mind where I'm just wanting to smoke and sit on the couch and watch sports or play video games. Like, life is so much more than that. Just sitting by a pond, like watching a duck go by, is like way more entertaining than doing the average thing that most people do. That's just my opinion, though. I was stuck in that cycle, so I appreciate the little stuff now. Yep, just seeing a baby like play with their toy or doing little stuff, like it means so much more to me than the old dumb stuff I was doing before. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And y'all, are y'all hip to how important the bees are for the world? I didn't know how important bees were like until recently. The whole pollination and all that. That's crazy how like they're so important. I put honey in my tea, but I read like conflicting reports on how much how much honey you should consume because they said it's like bees re, regurgitating. So how true is that if you know about honey? Because I don't know about honey that much. All I know is to put it on my biscuit or put it in my tea for sweetener. But I know it has some health benefits. But then I read conflicting reports saying that you shouldn't use too much of it. So if you know more than me, please help me out. But I love the taste of it, and it's nothing better on biscuits, like especially like Popeyes biscuits. Even though I don't eat that fast food crap anymore, but like if it was honey packs with the biscuits, I was all about it. What else is good with honey besides biscuits? I don't know. I think that's the only food I used to put honey on. I'm having big back flashbacks. I used to be a little chunky from like fourth to seventh grade. Oh, you never heard anything negative about honey, so it's probably like propaganda, so we won't use it because it's probably so many good health benefits. That's how they do. So I will continue to use it. I use moringa powder, elderberry, soursop leaves, and I put honey. And recently, I've been putting a dash of cayenne pepper, cinnamon, and what else? That's it in my tea. And I follow this doctor who I think he's a holistic doctor, and he gives tips about what to take. And he said if you take a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil a day before I think you go to sleep, you'll get some of the best sleep that you ever had. I've yet to try that yet, but I'm gonna do it tonight. I think he said it'll help out people that have multiple sclerosis too. And what else? Mm, yeah, I think that's it. I forgot his name. Otherwise, I would say it because he's on YouTube and like, he has great energy and he doesn't seem like he cares about sharing like natural stuff. But he seems like I think he's a medical doctor and he goes by natural stuff too. Mm, 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 mm. So it's 5:22 here. It's 44 degrees. I'm in Cleveland, in case you was wondering. I'm actually in a city that's right to the east of Cleveland, Ohio, called East Cleveland. A lot of people think that I'll be talking about the east side of Cleveland, but no, it's an actual city called East Cleveland. It's a small suburb, and I put a video of part of it on one of my shorts, and you can see like where I came from and the environment, kind of environment that I came from. But I'm still here. Learned a lot of lessons growing up in a pretty rough city. The city I grew up in kind of reminds you of Oakland, California. And if you know anything about Oakland, it's no joke. So my city that I grew up in is like a mini Oakland, California. And if you don't know about Oakland, just YouTube it and it'll probably blow your mind. 'Cause it's no joke. I've been to Cali 2 times myself, never Oakland, because it's kind of like where I came from. So I didn't want to see anything like that. Well, that's not true because I went to Compton and you know about Compton. But even though there's good parts that they don't tell us about, I even seen farms in Compton from someone that I followed on Instagram. And there's plenty of good parts of Compton, but we only seen the bad parts from seeing NWA in the movie Straight Outta Compton. They're not going to show you the good parts that have like horses and farms and stuff. But yeah, I've been to California twice, LA once, San Diego the other time. LA was at 7, San Diego at 16. San Diego is probably one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. And they have probably the best weather out of maybe the world. It's like a constant 77 degrees there, if you didn't know, all year round. And that's why it's like one of the most expensive places to live in America now. I wouldn't live there now because I think California is doomed. They're going to be like in the ocean pretty soon. But that's just my opinion. Sorry, California people. I've been doing videos on kitchen medicinal, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, cilantro, ginger. I read that cilantro pulls the heavy metals out your body. So I definitely, I've been juicing that for like the last 2 years now. And um, I watched a video recently from someone who said to do something with your cilantro so it doesn't have that bitter taste. I forgot, but do you know the process that he was talking about? He said do something with it for like a day, and it will take the. It was that doctor that I was referring to, and he said it will take the bitterness out of it if you want to eat it. But yeah, I'm all for it. They spray so much metal with those. You know what I'm talking about in the air. I don't think YouTube wants you to say the sea trails, but it was a health enthusiast that said the average American now has about 8 grams of metal in their body from those sea trails that they spray over us. And that's messed up. I seen a video where a dude took a playing card and scraped the hood of his car, and it had so much metal it looked like a line of you know what before somebody sniffs it. That's how much metal was on the hood of his car just from them sea trails being sprayed over his house. That's crazy. It removes arsenic. Oh, I read that the other day. Yep, it removes arsenic as well. I think it was one other thing that helps with a heavy detox diet. I forget the the other thing besides cilantro. If you know, please tell me. I usually juice mine though. I wonder if it has the same properties if you juice it um, versus eating it. Mm, 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 mm. It's crazy that we have to eat stuff to remove metals out of our body. I've read that the new towers, the five, you know what towers, had nothing to do with increasing the performance of our cell phones. Because I've seen a video of people who work on cell phones. They're the all day, every day, and they said there's no five, you know what, chip in the phones, and that it's just going to be used to mess with the metals that they're spraying and that's ending up in your body. This is all my opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes only. And they said that it will be used to interact with the towers and control your emotions and, yep, create a microwave effect. And this is for all entertainment purposes only. So that's pretty disappointing. But I mean, we all knew something was up because they were building a lot of this stuff when we were on lockdown. And I heard that they increased the productivity at night. And some of them are like disguised as trees in the top of like a tower, on top of buildings. And have you ever seen like bushes and trees next to them? They're like halfway dead. So, and smart meters too. You ever seen trees and plants and bushes next to smart meters and five, you know what towers? Like they're halfway burnt up. but this for entertainment purposes only. It's a sad world, but we all know that the powers that be, they don't really care. They can just create robots to replace us, right? I mean, they got all the money, but yeah, but we know what's going on. They can't fool us anymore. It's too many people that like to share the truth now. Yep. It was cool back in the day when you would see planes in the sky and you knew that that was just the condensation, the moisture coming from the exhaust. But now you look in the sky and it's like a puzzle. It's like those puzzle games where you had to create a line and get out of the puzzle thing. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, if you if you look up in the sky and you can see all of that stuff and you still think that that's exhaust condensation, then you probably still use fluoride toothpaste. But this is just for entertainment purposes. But yeah, I'm glad that I got out of the matrix. Rumble, okay, I've heard about Rumble or Patreon, but you got to pay for that. Oh well, no, some people's Patreons are free. Like I follow this channel called The Truth Is that exposes a lot of celebrities in Hollywood stuff, and I heard them say on the last video that they have a free Patreon membership. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can see the play about what's going on when you can't say certain things. Like that further strengthens my faith and relationship with our Father because a lot of channels I follow, there's one is a guy from Atlanta, and his channel is called Global New Breed Global Truth, and he constantly talks about our Father and relates it to the current topics and what's going on. And they always are messing with his channel. His viewers will go from 1,100 like live viewers to like 300 in like 2 seconds, and then um, the buffering thing will start spinning and it will just knock people out. And he'll be just talking about like our Father and or like truth stuff, how we're talking. And they start jiggling the wire. He called it jiggling the wire. But we know what's going on. They don't want the truth wire. They didn't think that we would use their internet for purposes besides like watching binge watching TV series and stuff of that nature. Sharing the truth was like so valuable, and they didn't think that this many people would wake up this fast. You could see it, like especially with TikTok. They really tried to take TikTok down, and from what I heard, it was because people were creating um, being able to live and like run their businesses off of there, and also speak the truth, and that's why it really was. They tried to take it out. Minds unveiled legit facts and historic events. I sure will. I'm all about stuff like that. I love watching things like that. Have y'all ever watched the TV series Black Mirror? Not to get off track, but Just switching gears, it's a very good show, and they drop little hints and stuff on that show too. Like there was a episode about having a social credit score, and it's already in place in China. Like if you go against the grain or how we're talking right now, your social credit score will drop because you're not going with what they want you to be brainwashed with. And it's pretty interesting. Well, well, I don't watch TV, but I guess you could consider it TV because it's a TV series. But like your mainstream TV, I don't watch it. I just watch it off of my Fire Stick. But I know what you mean. I haven't watched mainstream like TV in like 10 years, especially like the news. How you doing, Rising Phoenix? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, the Black Mirror show is very good, and the social credit episode, it shows how the thing they have in place in China already. So say you jaywalk. By the time you cross the street and get to the other side, the fee for jaywalking will be deducted out your account. It just shows how strong Big Brother will be in the near future. How they'll even know the way you walk. It's called your gait, GAIT. So if you had a mask over your face, they would still know who you are just from your walking gait. And yeah, it's going to be that serious where they know everything about you, even the way you walk. And that was a social credit score episode off of a TV show called Black Mirror. I believe it's an English show, but it's very good. And one of the best episodes featured actress that was in Wakanda. But it's very good. And I'm very picky about the TV shows that I watch. So not to like say that my pick is like the best, but I'm very picky about what I watch, and it has to be like a 7 or above. So it's pretty good. And let me see. I know where Mrs. Benz is from. Tracy's from. Where are you from, Rising Phoenix? All big box stores have tons of facial. Yep, I believe it. Facial rec cameras. Arlington, Texas. I've been to Houston, Texas. I learned how to spell my name in Houston. They told me I couldn't go to Astro World the next day unless I learned how to spell my name, and I stayed up like an extra hour spelling Christopher Allen Lee. It was hard. I'll never forget that because after I got it, I was like, yes, and then I went to sleep. I still couldn't ride on anything because I was like 3 or 4. I think I was like 3 or 4, and I couldn't ride anything at Astro World. Wow, everything they take to scan, they probably big brother in you. License plates, ID, cell phone is tracking you. Every time you mention something and you open your phone, it's on there. Like they got us. Six Flags. That's called Six Flags over Texas. Oh yeah, all the TVs and they listening to you. It's a crazy world. The smart TVs and phones are smarter than most people out here now. And they made the phones where you can't take your battery out, so it can always have always be listening. You remember all the old phones, you could take your battery out. You can't even take them out now. Six Flags over Texas. We have a Six Flags here outside of Cleveland. I'm not sure if it's still operating. I think so. I've been to Six Flags in LA, Six Flags in Atlanta, and I think that's it. Okay, cool. Thanks for stopping by. I was always a big roller coaster fan. I would ride on the tallest, steepest, fastest roller coaster, but you couldn't pay me to get on anything that spent around in a circle because I was cool on like losing my lunch. I never liked getting on stuff that spent around in a circle. I never seen the excitement in that. Like, how is that fun to get dizzy? Any dizzy fans out there? Did y'all like riding on stuff that made you super dizzy? And how was that fun? Yeah, I only like roller coasters myself. I like the bumper cars. And what else? Uh, it's been so long since I've been to an amusement park. Oh, I like the water thing. What's that called? The water log ride. I used to love going to amusement parks. I would stay from the morning to the nighttime when they were closing. And I used to love the nighttime because then some of the operators would let you stay on the roller coaster if nobody was in line and just keep going. That was the coolest. And I used to like when the roller coasters lit up at night and the lights would be going up the hill and down. That was cool to me too. Last time I went to an amusement park, I think I was like 27. And that was it for me. I started getting feeling like an old man after that. I got on this roller coaster where we went forward and then backwards and it went through a loop during the process. And when I got off of that, I felt like jelly. I was like, yeah, I think that's the sign for me to stop. My body was telling me, you're old now. But yeah, I love going to the amusement park. Besides paying $5 for a water, I love those fries where they took the potato and just mashed it down. I forgot what those fries are called, but I used to love drenching them in vinegar, and my cup would be soggy at the bottom, almost about to break through from all the vinegar that I would have sitting at the bottom of the cup. Those are the good days. I can even smell the elephant ears. Well, that was more like going to the state fair though. My mom used to take us to the fair. That was my best memories is the elephant ears and watching the demolition derby where the cars would line up and smash into each other. Those are real cool. Real cool memories. You said it proves that we aren't spending. I definitely I never like being dizzy at all. It's funny because just for the hell of it, like about a month ago, I was in the hallway with my power chair and I said, I wonder how I feel if I get dizzy. And I spent around and it's like a circle and a half and I was already dizzy. And I said, yep, that's enough for me. I was bored. Beaver tails. That's cool how like it's different names for stuff in different parts of the world. I was looking at a picture of this fruit tree and I had never seen this fruit before on Facebook. And people were in the comments were saying what it was and how it tasted like custard. and how it's commonly found in like Mexico and Hawaii. And I had never seen this fruit before. It looked like a yellow block, like a door wedge. And people said that it tasted like exactly like I think orange custard or something like that. I never seen that fruit before. It looked good though. I love fruit. Those elephant ears were good, even though you probably gained like at least 2 or 3 pounds eating it because of all the it being fried and all that oil. But those were so good. It's almost like a churro. I never had a churro before. I want one of them. I heard you got to eat those fast or it gets stale on you, just like an elephant ear. Probably kind of made like the same way. But yeah, those were good times going to the state fair, seeing the animals, watching the demolition derby. And it was even like a stunt show where cars would like drive on 2 wheels and like that man would like drive through fire on a motorcycle and stuff like that. My mom took me and my brother to some real cool stuff in my younger days. I even she even took us to a drag strip one time. That was cool. That was the first and last time I went to a drag strip, and I was probably in the third grade. When it comes to plants, they say we can't grow them here. I grow dragon fruit. Is it how do you pronounce that? Goji berries and elderberries. So it's illegal. It's illegal to grow them there, like medicinal stuff. Is that because they want to control like the farming stuff? Like they control farming here? They say, oh, the weather. Oh, okay. What about do you grow them inside in like a tent or what's it called? Um, greenhouse, green. Was it green room? Greenhouse, greenhouse. I think. I don't know if I ever had goji berries. They always look good though. In the ground, except for the dragon fruit, I grow that in my house. Cool. That one guy I was talking about, he said that he unlocked a new flavor for himself. He said he cut dragon fruit open and accidentally got some squeezed some lemon in it, and he said it tasted so good. So just passing that along, he said that lemon juice squirted on top of dragon fruit is so good. And this is a guy that lives in Florida and like plants all kind of stuff in his yard. Also, you heard of people using lime on their dragon fruit. I haven't tried dragon fruit yet. It looks like an alien fruit, but I heard it tastes real good though. I'm gonna have to try it pretty soon. It look like a fruit that you would find on like Venus or something. We've been brainwashed into only eating like apples, oranges, and bananas. That when we see something like that, we uh we think it's like crazy or something. And now you can't even. I can't find watermelon with seeds, or orange with seeds, the real banana churro. I think it's burro bananas with seeds. Oh, you definitely can't find any grapes with seeds in the Cleveland area. Good luck. Grapes or watermelons, you'll have better luck finding. I don't have anything funny to say, but you'll have a tough time finding grapes with seeds or watermelons with seeds in the Cleveland area. And I've heard some people ask grocery store workers, when will they be in? And they said that we were told not to order them anymore. So it's something going on. But it's no surprise because I've heard that grape with seeds have properties to cure the big C. We should be. Oh yeah, I've definitely heard about the health properties of dandelions. All that time, we thought that it was just a nuisance in our yard, but we could have been putting it, using it as tea and healing ourselves. But you knew they weren't going to tell us that. They just gave us the that lawn stuff to get rid of them. They definitely didn't want to tell us that it was so healthy for us, especially since it's free too. If they can't bottle it up and sell it to us, then they don't want to tell us about it. Okay, I'm gonna do some more exploring on your channel and learn some more. I love learning about prepping. Better learn before they shut it all down. I heard they were gonna do like a cyber reset. It's pretty soon. I think in the summertime. One of the channels I follow that shows a lot of forward thinking videos. It said be prepared for like a internet interruption in like the summertime. But I'm not surprised. I've been heard that we um gonna get like a power grid interruption or attack or whatever, especially with the magnetic thing or whatever it's called, where they wipe out all your electric stuff. It'll come to me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Modern day book burning. Yep, that's how they have us so lost. As far as I don't even like to say black people, but indigenous people, they burnt a lot of our libraries down, so we don't know half of our truth. Sad. Tell me about it. I seen a woman make a video out of her job yesterday, and I think she was 37, and she was whispering. She said, "I have a master's degree, and I'm at my job right now, and I'm letting y'all know I can't read." She said, "I'm watching podcasts right now to figure out the sounds of words and the how to read." And she said, "I'm not joking, y'all." She said, "I don't even know how to spell basic words." And she said she took speech to text um eh, technology to get through a lot of stuff. But yeah, didn't look like she was kidding at all. And then at the end of the video, she said the generations a generation or two behind me, they're screwed. Yep, it was like a 37-year-old woman and she could not read. And she was at a corporate, like big job and said she had a master's degree. And she said she was watching podcasts to learn how to read currently. So wow. Have you seen about how the Wi-Fi messes up your blood barrier in your brain? It's like a blood barrier, something in your brain, and the Wi-Fi. They 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 created the Wi-Fi to bypass that, and it really like messes with your brain. They can't write or tell time. Nope, sure can't. I see a lot of Generation Z people get stopped on the street by YouTubers with a mic, and that was yesterday. They asked them what states border Canada, and the dude said, I don't know if he was playing or not, but I don't think he was. He named a country, and it wasn't the United States. And they asked him what states from the United States border Canada, and he said something like, I don't even know, but it was a country that was way far off. I don't want to misquote, but it was definitely super wrong. But I watched a lot of YouTube channels that they just stop random people on the street, like in Times Square and stuff like that. And yeah, the younger generation has no clue about basic knowledge. It's disappointing. Battery's getting low on my laptop. Let me check the percentage. I don't want it to cut off. I'm at 10%. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Nah, they really can't have a normal conversation unless it's about your iPhone. Let's see what. Let's see. Let's try to name three things that we could talk about. And no shade if there's anybody that's watching this that's young. Not throwing any shade. We're just showing y'all how messed up it is out here. But you could probably only talk about the younger generation, about their iPhones, maybe Netflix, and what? LeBron James? Maybe that's about it. But you definitely can't really get into super deep converse. Oh, TikTok, yeah. The new TikTok, whatever the new TikTok trend or dance is. It's sad. I've heard that there's a TikTok trend right now called 21 and Kid and Childless, where the young generation is proud to be 21 years old without a kid. And I believe that this is my opinion. I believe a lot of people that are officials are on these social medias pushing these trends. It's a it's a no brainer that a lot of our social media is infiltrated with people that want to influence the masses with dumb stuff. The TikTok in China doesn't show the same thing as the TikTok in America. If you didn't know that, all their kids are influenced to watch educational stuff, where our TikTok is full of like jokey or shaking your butt videos. It's a total different experience in China. If you didn't know, I believe that's another reason why they want to try to eliminate it. Because I know America sees that other countries, they're like so far advanced over us, especially their militaries. I seen a study about our young boys and men, like they're not signing up for our military anymore because they don't have any testosterone, and they're at home playing Call of Duty. That's their military. So a lot of the alpha men and men with um, aggressive or more domineering personalities, they're becoming extinct. I consider myself to be like a tough dude, not an a hole, but I'm I'm a pretty tough person, and I can see like men like me, they're disappearing slowly, and it's sad. In Russia, the doctors still use medicinals and natural healing. They'll never do that here. They probably haven't done that here since I don't even know. I would have to do the research. Oh yeah, real men get shamed like we're barbaric or trying to to run like a woman's life, but no, I just act accordingly to how the Bible says a man should act. But who am I, right? I'm just a guy on YouTube. But yeah, it's sad. Most men are kind of feminine nowadays. Sad to say. And you look at the attire that they wear, like all the rain. I don't even want to say it, but the all the different colors that you would never see me like dressing like that when I was younger, like pink tennis shoes and stuff like that. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with it. If that's your thing, do your thing. But I could have never seen myself like playing basketball with pink shoes on. But hey, if you want to dress like a starburst, that's your thing. So yeah, I probably talk for like 5 more minutes because my laptop is at 10%. But I appreciate everybody for stopping by and checking back on me because it's been about almost a month since I made my last video. That time went by so fast. Wow. So yeah, I'm gonna be on it. Just had to clear some stuff up, get some family stuff in order, and yeah, I'm comfortable now getting on here. I enjoy hanging out with you too. I appreciate your input. I love your channel too. The Zenden. Is there anything else that you make? Well, now you have so many videos. I just need to go and watch them. Let me see. I was gonna try to ask something specific. Oh, do you do you put meat in the jar? Because I've seen somebody canning meat when they said if your power goes out. So do you can meat or do you have a strategy to like preserve it like they did back in the day in the ground when they put salt over top of it? Okay, okay. I'm gonna go on your channel and learn more about it. Let me see what else. Um, I can't think of anything else right now. Hmm. It'll come to me. Bum, 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 bum. Pressure can more. Nah, water, bathe, bath almost every. Try to get this out the way. This little symbols in the way. I used to pressure. Oh, there it is. I used to pressure can more. Now I water bath almost everything. That's how they used to do canning. So that's process, a different process in canning called water bath. I never heard of that. Is the is there a video on your channel with the water baths in the title so I can easily access that video and learn about it? Mm, 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 mm. 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, you have to make like informative stuff, like shorter videos. I see. So the jar glass, it holds up in the boiling water. It won't break. Or do you have to have a specific thickness of jar glass, or would the typical mason jar survive in boiling water? Or should I just be quiet and go watch the video? Okay. I didn't know that mason jars could withstand that amount of heat. Learn something every day. And you do it for 3 hours. Interesting.